Good evening and welcome to a special Tuesday night edition of Gridiron Weekly. We will be joined shortly by Sirius XM NFL radio announcer Zig Fracassi. He will be on the show shortly and we'll talk NFL. I'm joined as always by William. William, who's on the mend a little bit. He's waving.
Yeah.
He's not constipated. He just has a brace on. So no comments about constipation. And John, who's always ready to do it all. He's ready to drive you to the hoop. He'll bury you in that. And it's always a bonus if you're deaf, because then he'll really get you.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so we had a couple college football games over the weekend. I don't know if you guys watched UNLV. It was kind of entertaining. Did anybody watch UNLV?
No, I did not watch that.
With Dan Mullins. It was kind of, they won 38-31. I don't know that they're playing a lot of defense out there, but the offense is definitely exciting to watch. So it wasn't a horrible game. But the games we picked, we'll go over them real quick. K-State, Iowa State, the last Farmageddon over in Dublin, Ireland. I found it to be largely entertaining. The weather kind of hit, but still finished 24-21. The weather kind of had an impact, but we'll start with you, John. What do you think?
They went for it on their own 29-yard line or whatever the hell that was. And then, of course, Iowa State scores. And then within seconds, because we love the Big 12, long pass down the field, K-State scores. And I was entertained. I always loved Big 12. I'll tell you, I could watch it. I'd watch it all day long. I love the Big 12. Things like that always happen. Why he went for it on his 29, I don't know. I don't like that. Why would you do that? Just punt it. Stop. Just punt. What are you doing, man?
It was
you lost the game. He lost the game doing that.
Yeah, they could have had overtime, no problem. William, what did you think of that game, sir?
It was entertaining. I thought the conditions were pretty bad. The lines on the field kept coming off. It was just, I don't know, man. They got another game there in September. My club's the Steelers are going to be there, so playing the Vikings. I don't know. They got to get it figured out. I know it's a rugby, field, but you would just think that I don't know. But no, it was entertaining. I thought it was sloppy at the first half. I thought was sloppy football.
Yeah, the first two possessions, turnover.
Yeah, but it was a slick ball. It was slick out there, But yeah. So
and again, it's your first game. It's like a preseason. It's the first time they're playing. Eventually we got to get to the point where they do that. Preseason games or something.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. It's hard though because of it had to be a team within close proximity because nobody's going to travel far, right? And then you're kind of stuck regionally and around like big schools. Some will have it better. The South has more school, more large schools. But you look at Ohio State, who would they get? You think WVU would make that short drive? Do you think Pitt would? Do you think, Pitt's only 2.5 hours away? I think it's doable. Will they get to that point? What do you think? Do you think they really will?
Oh, I would think like at least the joint practice thing like the NFL does, maybe.
Yeah.
Something better than what they're doing because these games are not what I'm going to watch them and I love them, but they're not what they should be. They're not. They're going to be better in 5 weeks.
Right. That's not a great preview for the game that we all want to watch at noon.
Yeah.
How sloppy is that going to be, do we think?
Oh, I don't think it'll be. I don't know. I don't think it'll be that slow. Those guys will be ready to play. Is it supposed to rain in at the shoe?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a defensive struggle. I think, though. I really do. I think it's going to be really.
The defense is always ahead of the offense.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the next game. It was Kansas versus Fresno State. I really thought Fresno State would have done a little bit. Kansas lost a lot of folks. I thought Fresno State would be competitive, but ultimately they were not. Right. Us off.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that game. I got to be honest with you. I didn't even. What was
having not watched it? What are your thoughts?
I don't even know what the score was. So I knew Fresno State lost, but
right. I watched the highlights, and it was truly they just weren't in the game ever.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was going to be more competitive. Fresno had had all this talk that they were going to beat. I thought they might they challenged the Bluefield people last year. So I thought that they would have a little bit of better, but they didn't. They came up with 7 points. After one, it was 14-7. Like, not a game. I look away, I come back, halftime, 24-7. I go, that game's over.
Yeah.
And I was kind of disappointed. But the night. Go ahead, John.
No, go ahead. No, I agree. I saw a little bit of it. I was in and out of it. I did check a little bit out. I was hoping, like you said, that it would be. I was expecting something better. Disappointing.
I mean, they were hyping if EJ Warner starting for Kurt Warner's kid starting for Fresno State. He again, 2 interceptions. He's interception prone. He really is. He doesn't look much different than he did at Temple, but I thought it was going to be a little bit more competitive. But ultimately, man, Kansas has a quarterback.
Yeah,
they have a quarterback, who can run. And I don't know if you guys stayed up. You didn't have to stay up that late, but that Stanford Hawaii game was pretty good game.
Yeah, it was entertaining. Yeah,
how that Hawaii kid stayed in the game with having that hip drop tackle. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe he stayed in. And then they managed to eke it out at the end. I thought Stanford had a chance, but they've got the quarterback that turns the ball over too much.
Yeah, he's terrible. Yeah, that kid. What's his name? Say his name. Gabran? No, not Gabranson. What the hell's his name? The Stanford quarterback. Anyways, I can't remember his name, but it was terrible. He can't throw the ball down the field. He just can't. No. And I love the run and shoot.
Branson. You're right. It's Cole Branson.
How about the run and shoot? That was fun. I love Hawaii again, and that quarterback's good. He's going to be. I mean, not NFL good, but really nice for them.
He looks like another one of the Hawaiian quarterbacks that just aren't tall. He's right around 5'11", and he gutted it out because that was a nasty injury. He needs his 10 days, off because I don't know. He couldn't run.
Yeah.
For that one play to set up the field goal at the end, he could not move, couldn't throw off that foot at all. So I mean, Stanford. I thought Stanford looked good except for the one the kid only had 1 pick.
Well, I think it should have been they gave him that 7 points, right? He got sacked in the end zone, he fumbled, and Stanford scored. Yep. And it seemed like they were up 7-3 forever, and Hawaii just kept shooting themselves in the foot because it felt like that they should have been leading by more at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was impressed with Hawaii. Stanford not so bad. The quarterback play though is just they're handcuffed. He can't throw it down the field.
But they can run the ball. I mean, they ran 177 yards, and that Michael Ford can run, right? I mean, he's no joke. He can run.
Yeah, they can run the ball. No, I know, and they're gonna have a rough year though.
They are. They don't have a quarterback, and unfortunately, at every level, it appears as if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
Right. So it's unfortunately you fall into that trap again. You got to have a quarterback. So and about folks in about I don't know 5-7 minutes we'll have Zig on. We'll start talking some NFL. So we'll do a little brief preview. I mean, obviously the game of the weekend, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is at noon, right? And they're doing something kind of wonky with that game. They're doing the presentation for Lee Corso at midfield for some reason.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so there's going to be a big stage set up, which I don't know. I mean, they're saying that his first headgear he put on was Brutus, which is great and all, but he has no connection to Ohio State.
Right.
I mean, he coached at Florida State, right? So he has no connection to Ohio State. I don't know why. I guess it's because he's picked them the most, as I was reading, as the mascot. But that'll cause the game to have a little bit of a delay. But it really comes down to it. I mean, can Arch shine? What do you think, Bill?
I think he can. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think there's too many unknowns about Ohio State, and I mean, you could say I guess the same thing about Texas, but I just think Texas is slightly a better team, to be honest with you. So
yeah,
I think. I mean,
go ahead.
Well, no, I think Archie is. This is his. This is center stage. This is what he wants right here. This is his time to shine. Not that Julian's saying, is I don't know. He may have a good game. Who knows? We'll see.
He doesn't have the pedigree or the genes that.
No, he doesn't. And I mean, it's just, they lost a lot of guys. Ohio State lost a lot of guys, so it's to be expected that this would be a down year. But we'll see what happens. We're having an issue with spitball in sports for some reason.
We are.
Oh. She said, "Okay, the stream ended."
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a moment.
Yes, sir.
But
Look at that
yeah.
guy. But I don't know. I think to John's point, I hope we don't get sloppy, right?
Back.
Sloppy would be a detriment to. It would just be a waste of a game, like John said. If this is week 7, week 8, I mean, first of all, the hype would be incredible, right? The build up to the game would be incredible, but to have it so early, I don't see high scores. I just don't. I see more of a defensive battle, like John. But maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe they'll come out and it'll be just throw it around the yard.
I mean, what? Texas is what? They got 4 new offensive linemen, I guess, from last year, 4 out of 5. I don't know anything about Julian Saint. I don't know what Saint's going to be. That's going to be that'll be the key. If he's good, they can win. That's where I'm at with them. If that quarterback is good, they can win the game.
We're back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know that he was a 5-star recruit. I just don't know.
Yeah.
The line, and curiously, the line has not budged one bit. It's 2.5. Usually, you'll see a little bit of movement. It has not moved whatsoever. Maybe the closer we get to Saturday, it might move, but it's pretty solid. The money in Vegas is on Ohio State.
It's also going to be interesting with Brian Hartline being the new offensive coordinator. I'm curious on that because I've always wanted him to be. I was hoping for him instead of Chip Kelly, and I didn't understand why they overlooked him. So I think it's actually going to be fun. I think he'll be a good transition to him. He's been there. Matt Patrician is just a weird one to me. I don't know what the heck. Yeah. He coaches everything, I guess. The offense, I don't even know.
Rocket science tree, everything.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a great selection, but we'll see. I mean, it's his first time in college football.
I didn't understand that one either. I mean,
he's still going to have a pencil behind his ear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
You ever hear him speak?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
His voice doesn't match his body. He's got a high voice.
So I don't know, man. I think I like I said, if Ohio State, and I think like Bill, I think Texas is better. And I just think Ohio State needs to. I don't think they're going to get blown out or anything crazy like that, but because they have a good defense. Their defense is going to be tough on Manning. Manning, he may never see it. This defense is good, and they still got Caleb Downs. They still got Styles. They still got guys, and they always have guys. Even if we don't know their names, we'll end up knowing them because they get everything.
Hey, number 3, you're like, holy Lord, where'd this kid come from?
Yeah, so
he'll go for $130, or something like that. Billy, it's going to be 66 and beautiful sunshine in the Horseshoe at noon.
Well, yeah, I mean that's good.
It's going to be weather will not be a factor.
No,
but I mean that is the granddaddy of them all on that day. There's a couple other matchups, but really, truly, the granddaddy of them all happens at noon. So I guess what 2:00 we can all just go about our day.
Yeah,
I mean that's pretty much. I mean the Utah UCLA game at 11 on Fox is kind of intriguing.
Yeah,
that might be cool, but I'm not sure. Hawaii has to travel to Arizona. I don't know if that kid's going to be healthy for Hawaii.
That's unfortunate. Yeah,
that is because I mean I don't think he's going to be healthy. I really don't.
I know. I can't believe he even came. I know. I was stunned. I thought he wasn't. Obviously, I thought he was done. And I didn't know the other quarterback, but he looked okay, but he certainly wasn't as dynamic as. And I can't even remember his name, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because I liked him. Yeah, he was okay. He just was 0 for 1 when he came in.
Yeah,
LSU, Clemson, these are make it or break it. I mean, Billy's good friend Kelly has to do something at LSU. They cannot go in there and get blown out again. That just can't happen. Right?
No, but
it's likely to happen.
He's a terrible coach. He is that guy is god awful. I mean he is just a joke of a college football.
Billy, he is the picture of fake it till you make it, man, because he's still faking it.
Oh, I know, but he's a snake oil salesman, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
he's gotten away with it. It's a shame, but I mean he's just such a what an absolute embarrassment for college football to have somebody like him involved. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, you imagine him being 40 years ago, I mean, what a just an absolute embarrassment for LSU to even consider having some jackass like this at the helm of your program.
It would be wild. So the highest point spread I see is Penn State favored by 44. You think they cover? I wouldn't touch that game with a 10-foot.
No, I wouldn't touch
Yeah,
it.
no. Yeah.
No,
I mean, they're playing Nevada. Nevada's not horrible,
right.
Right.
but I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot.
I wouldn't.
I
touch
wouldn't
that.
either. I wouldn't touch that either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Georgia and Marshall. Georgia's favored by 39.5. That's another one that's,
Yeah.
Do you think Alabama? Do you think Florida State does anything? They're 13.5 point underdog at home. Think they do anything?
I don't think so. I think they
No,
might
I don't
get.
either.
Castellano, you don't think he runs wild?
Yeah, no. I think they might get clobbered. I don't know. I think the more I see Ty Simpson and the things I think he fits there perfectly. I think he might be a perfect coach for DeBoer and everything. I kind of starting to like Alabama a little more than I did originally. Now they could. I mean, I could see them having 2-3 losses, but I'm
they're
starting.
definitely under the radar, which is crazy to say about it.
Yeah, but this is. I tell you what, this is a big year for DeBoer. I mean, this is it for him. I mean, this is a make it or break it for him.
Kind of has to be.
He grinds out another mediocre season, and I mean, this is not good. Not going to be that good down there in
Tuscaloosa.
What a horrible act to follow. You knew it would be tough. I mean, God, anybody they brought in.
I mean, that's a tough job to follow, but I was a little bit skeptical in the hire, to be honest with you.
It shocked me. It surprised me.
Nowhere.
So,
Rick, go ahead, Joe.
No, I'd always thought like a guy I didn't think they could get him, but like bring Lane Kiffin back, do one of those things. But
right.
No, they had DeBoer.
Yeah.
Hey boys.
Zig.
Hey, there you go,
guys. How are you?
We're doing well.
good, doing well. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Sorry for the late start here.
Oh, no
That's
problem.
all right.
Whatsoever.
No problem at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by Sirius XM NFL Radio, Zig Fracassi. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Good.
It's like Christmas Eve, We're getting ready every night. Every night until next Thursday is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We're getting a taste of college football this weekend, and then we get the game, Dallas and Philadelphia. Don't know if Micah's going to play, but I don't care because I'm a Washington fan. But anyway, so boys, the boys got some questions. We're going to start firing off. We're going to start with John. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Zig. I got a question.
What's up, baby?
What's up? I'm going to go off the board on a question here because someone asked me to ask you because I live here in Western New York. You're from here. The Bills, Buffalo. What concerns you about them? Is there any? What trips them up? Do they finally get past Kansas City?
I think JR, they got to get home field advantage. That's got to be first and foremost. So they've got to get that, and then from there, you're hoping KC might start sliding a little bit. Although I don't know if I see that happening. The one thing that concerns me about the Bills is their interior run defense. Remember, they added Ogunjobi and Hoyt to the mix, but they've each been suspended for the first 6 games. So that's a little bit bothersome to me. They're a little bit young there, but I guess if they could withstand that, have the youngsters like Jackson and them step up until those said veterans come back, that's where I think the Bills may have some problems. I think otherwise they're solid all around. Maybe a little bit of shakiness at safety, at least that we saw in the preseason, but the run defense is the big thing for me.
What about their kicking? They don't have the greatest kicker in the world.
Yeah, Tyler Bass dropped the B, and that's where you call him. But he's probably as good as you're going to get because anytime kicking at Highmark Stadium with those wins, especially in December and January, could be kind of a tricky deal. So I guess they feel like he's still their guy.
Week 2, did they go out and sign Justin Tucker?
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Ooh. That could be a little bit tricky. Obviously, we know how great he's been, but we also know that unfortunately there's a lot of baggage to his career. I don't know if they're in Buffalo where they stress a lot of the, not only good ball players, but the character side of it. You don't hear a whole lot of scandal about that. That's a fair question, Mighty Quinn, but I don't see that happening.
What about the kid that just got released from the Steelers, from Pitt? He can knock the hell out of the ball.
Ben Sauls, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Obviously, just because teams are down to their 53-man roster doesn't mean that we're going to see a lot of, if you will, gymnastics going on between now and next Thursday. So I suppose anything's possible.
Yeah. Billy, what you got, buddy?
Well, Zig, thanks for coming on here. We appreciate it.
You got it.
Yeah. So I have some takeaways from preseason that I saw, but what was your biggest takeaways from the NFL preseason? Anything, like players, teams, anything unexpectedly stand out to you?
Yeah, that's a fair question, Bill. I think if you're a Patriots fan, a couple of things I saw. Trevion Henderson, the second-round pick out of Ohio State's absolutely going to knock it out. I mean, those Ohio State backs usually do pretty well in the National Football League, and I think he was a steal, actually. You could have made an argument he would have been a first-round pick. And then the kid out of Eastern Washington, I believe his last name's Chisholm. They think they've got it, they may have the next Puka Nacua or even, Cooper Kupp, who both went to that school. So very, very good slot receiver. So that was a bit of a surprise for me with the New England Patriots. And then just thinking right off the top of my head, Russell Wilson looks awfully lean. So, and he was throwing his moon balls with the New York Giants. So I think they're justified there. Dylan Gabriel, I thought, played pretty well with the Browns throughout the preseason. That's why he's going to be Flacco's primary backup. God forbid Joe gets hurt. The kid from Oregon via Oklahoma, and that is going to play. So those are a couple of the, if you will, things that kind of caught my eye throughout the preseason.
Did you find it hard to evaluate a lot of them? So when Washington played New England, they sat 32 players.
Right.
So the New England essentially played the Uber drivers, the bouncers, the bartenders. Right. I mean, honestly, even the 32 of them, I think, 6 or 8 of them were on special teams. So do you find it hard? Do you take more out of the? I was listening to your show on Sunday because I was driving home. Thank God I had something to listen to. And you had Rand Carthon on, and you had the tight end Christian Foria, and you were talking about the joint practices that teams get way more out of those than they ever will out of the preseason.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
But Rand, by the way, is a good addition to our NFL radio lineup. Gosh, I'm old enough to remember his dad, the two-time champion fullback with the Giants, Maurice Carthon. And I think Rand will be back in the league before you know it. But I think that's the point, Mighty Quinn. Yeah, it's really hard, like you said, because these last preseason games really don't mean much, which is where I think, with the teams now, they're going to be going to an 18-game schedule. I think you may see more of this going forward in terms of teams, scrimmaging each other. And I've heard it from a number of circles that they get more out of that than they do a preseason game.
Well, let me kind of caveat question. Do you think it's just because they're able to script it more and they're able to it's more of a controlled environment?
I think that's a fair observation. Sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure each team wants to, they probably, I don't know if they go over it with the other coach, but I'm sure they have their set of ideas. The other team has their set of ideas. Boom. That's why you do it.
Well, in like situational football, like, hey, I want to work on this. Can we do this? And there's just certain things that they're able to do with those joint practices that you're not able to do with a preseason game. And,
you can't control the circumstances. You think they'll ever move it to a stadium and just have like an open week, pay $5 or $10, come and watch the one-on-one? I remember back in the day, Washington every year would go to Latrobe. They'd go from, to Latrobe, and it was on television. They showed the 7-on-7s on television. I remember 86, 16-year-old kid watching the Redskins and the Steelers play, and they kept scoring everything. Will it ever move to something like that? Just have like an open week, where because not everybody can fit into a stadium, right?
Right.
If you're able to go see two teams, the one-on-ones, will that ever happen? Sort of like a palooza, palooza.
I don't know if I ever see that happen. And again, that's where we see now these teams more than ever, have the open nights like they do throughout the preseason. I think where you're going with that is probably what they're doing now. So to answer your question, I don't see it reverting to what it used to be.
All right, John, you're up, buddy.
Are you tired yet of Shedeur? And I wanted to ask you though about him. Were you surprised when he got picked? Because I know, I'm sitting here and I kind of was waiting and I got surprised. Then it looked like the Browns were forced to do it. What was your thoughts on all that?
JR, I thought it was actually a Haslam pick, to be honest with you. Jimmy Haslam, of course, he went on and basically said that wasn't the case. Listen, I thought he was, again, because of his last name, because of the visibility and everything like that. I think there was a whole lot of overhype. I will say this: Travis Hunter is not overhyped. That kid is the absolute real deal. I see him having a superstar career in the NFL, playing both ways, by the way, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But back to Shedeur, there were some things I liked in college. I mean, Colorado did make that turnaround from their first year to the second. So, but did I think he was the second overall pick? I think that was just a lot of manufactured hype. I mean, I thought Dart was a better quarterback. I thought Gabriel was a better quarterback, and we saw that in terms of the draft. So I think Shedeur actually got drafted at a reasonable spot. He's going to be the emergency quarterback. There is some talent there, but for him, to be this anointed savior, and because of what his last name is, I didn't buy any of that at all, JR.
Yeah.
Kuiper was in love with him. All Kuiper.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, I'm going to say one thing about Shedeur. The kid's tough. I mean, getting sacked 42 times last year. I mean, and getting back up, all the time, he's tough. So, I mean, I was, obviously Kenny Pickett getting traded to the Raiders today. He's at number 3 now in Cleveland. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought that made sense because, I mean, here's a young guy who was a first-round pick. I thought in instances he showed some things in Pittsburgh, but I think the Steelers' offense it's still, I think, may be in a major need of a tune-up, although now you go out and get Metcalf in the offseason, which I thought was a great move. So, and then you bring him to Cleveland, maybe for competition, but now he's going to the Raiders. He's going to be the clear backup there because O'Connell's now out up to 2 months with that fractured wrist, and he's going to have a good system to learn under in Pete Carroll's. So, and he's still young enough. I think at some point I could still see him starting somewhere.
Well, and that's an ideal Pete Carroll guy. A guy that's played in 4 teams the last couple years. I mean, that's why Pete liked Geno so much. I mean, he
respects him as a fighter.
Yeah.
Well, let's not forget either. You want to go back to, 2012, 2013. They had signed Matt Flynn to that mega contract. They already had
1 game. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. They had Tavares Jackson there, who had started with Minnesota. And then there's this kid coming out of, NC State via the name Russell Wilson.
Yep.
He played, he beat the competition. And as they say in the biz, the rest is history. So Pete's never afraid to make the so-called the questionable or, shock move, if you want to call it that.
Zig, do you ever remember this many trades before the deadline? I can't remember this many yesterday and today. There was a ton of trades.
I'm with you there. And I don't know if I ever remember, and there's the thing too, where, instead of losing the player outright, you get something for him, and it's for that player. They go to a team that obviously wants them, and that seems to be the modern practice now. We'll trade John Restino and a 7th round pick, and we'll get a 6th round pick back in return. So that just seems to be the way it is. And like I said, it's kind of a way of assuring that you get a player that you think has a chance, and if he went through waivers or whatever, Tennessee, they could claim practically everyone since they're the number 1 team in the claim chart.
Yeah. Billy, you up next?
Yeah. I guess one of the questions I had too was, there's a lot of storylines this year. And I'm not going to ask you right now, but I want to get your take. I mean, obviously I'm a Steelers fan. I want to get your take on the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, but we'll save that for a little later. But, some of the NFL storylines, I mean, do you think there's some more overrated? You see any underrated storylines? I mean, I kind of one of the things I thought was kind of overrated is, they're kind of Well, I mean, obviously Buffalo, Super Bowl contenders. I mean, I think we opened up the show with, there's a lot of people who think that that's a little bit of an overrated storyline, that they're Super Bowl contenders, because let's face it, they've had playoff losses against the Chiefs, the Ravens in recent years. But
they're at the door now. Let's not make any mistake. They are at the door, but they have got to get. They haven't kicked it in like the Bum Phillips back in the day,
Right.
But they are close.
I think the only team they lose to is KC. They're the only ones that take them out. And the Bengals did once. Yeah, in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Got to get through that first,
But yes, but I wanted to get your take on that. Another thing, the Green Bay. I know there was Colin Cowherd. He didn't have them. They were talking about elite statuses of teams, and he's like, Green Bay should be out on the outside looking in. And I agree with him on that. I mean, I just kind of think that there's, I don't know. What do you any overrated or underrated storylines going into this regular season?
I think this whole Micah Jerry thing has been way, way out of bounds. I think at some point Parsons is going to come in. It wouldn't surprise me if he plays opening day for the Cowboys, but again, this is just Jerry being Jerry, if you will, and he needed more attention with that Netflix thing, which, by the way, was outstanding. If you have a chance to see that. So
I haven't finished it. It is unbelievable.
It really, I mean, and it brings back memories of the 90s. Trust me, the White House era. I mean, that's something, for NC-17 audience. But, Philadelphia's had a couple little injuries here. They're the defending champions. Let's not forget they had some big losses on defense. You lose Sweat to the Cardinals. You lose Williams to the Patriots. C.J. Gardner-Johnson no longer there. So Philadelphia, they got a bit of a turnover. Will they be able to repeat? I saw a little bit of the Bears in the preseason. And again, granted, it was against second or third team defense, but man, was Caleb throwing peas out there. I mean, you could tell there's a difference now with him playing under Ben Johnson. So I thought that was worth watching. This Matthew Stafford back situation with the Rams guys, they're saying all the right and nice things, but it's still, to me, anytime you're talking about a guy who's in is going to be in his 16th, right, 16th year in the league, herniated disc, it's taken a poop ton of hits in his career, and then the guy who's backing him up, he's got an injury history. I think if the Rams have any stability at quarterback, they could be the team out of the NFC, but that is a big if. So those are some of the other storylines that I'm kind of keeping my eye on.
And frankly, the Rams should have beat the Eagles last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
Kyron Williams doesn't fumble. Yeah.
Exactly. That was a tough matchup.
Yeah. And this I agree with you, Zig. Caleb, I tell you what, he had some flashes of brilliance, particularly week 2 of that preseason, that opening drive. He had a very good opening drive.
Yeah, so, I mean, and that's what he needs. I mean, he needs to get into that rhythm, get rid of that ball quick, and like even JR being the Bears fan he is, probably could tell you that a little bit of a concern there. Who's going to be the left tackle? I mean, they would like that kid who's been there for quite a while to do it, but they've shuttled in guys there. And guys, I don't know about you, a week before the regular season starts and we got the shuttle going on at left tackle. That's a little alarming to me.
It's also, Caleb Williams has a delicate psyche as well. He does. And that's not fair. A negative. That's not a negative. He's just a person that wears his heart on his sleeve. And that's a little difficult when you're quarterback because you have to have a memory of a goldfish, get rid of it right away. Exactly. And sometimes it lingers for him. That's the concern I would have with the Bears is that can he replicate what he did in preseason against the starters when something goes wrong, right?
Exactly.
Because he's not going to have all those opportunities when it goes. John, you up with the question?
Yeah. Who's overrated? Like, to me, I felt, and I'm probably wrong, but for a moment in my mind, I felt the 49ers were overrated this year. I don't know why. I feel like they're overrated to me. I'm probably wrong. Who's overrated to you going in?
That's a good question. Would we say overrated or maybe a team that you think should be up there, but that might not be there? 49. Well, let's face it, John. I mean, they took care of Purdy. You make the trade to get Robinson now to basically, be sort of McCaffrey's backup caddy, if you want to call it. So I thought that was a good move. But let's not forget, you lose a guy like Debo. Ayuk's banged up to start the season, so receiving spot could be a little bit of a question mark. They've had some guys leave in the last couple of years in terms of defense. 49ers are at that. They could be competitive, or maybe they take that step back. Like Detroit is another one to me, because they've already got injuries, and now you have to replace both coordinators. And anytime you do that, guys, you got most of your guys still there, but they have to adjust to the new system. Some things along those lines. That could be a little bit tough for them. I'll still look for Detroit to be good, but maybe not like 15 win at the top seed that they were last year.
Well, when it comes to the 49ers, I think people are looking at, obviously, Brock Purdy's numbers did dip last year, but I tell you what, injuries plagued the team last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, they still have a strong nucleus, I think, when healthy. I do. I still, despite losing some guys, obviously Debo gone, but I think,
Trent Williams has to stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's still the best left tackle in the game. So
he's getting up there. He's 36, going to be 37 this year. It's going to be tough. I mean, you look at the Lions also. You lost your center. Like, that's huge for a quarterback.
That's right. Bragg now retired. Yep.
Yeah, huge for a quarterback. So that's what I see. But in the NFC, I don't see a lot of. I'm a diehard. Grew up in the DC area. Diehard Washington fan. I don't see a lot of pressure on the Eagles. They may go in as the defending champ. I don't see a lot of pressure. I don't. I think Love, unfortunately, is going to have that moniker of continually injured. He's injured every year. So I don't know what the Packers can do. The Lions are going to be good. Can they perform when they need to? I mean, Buccaneers might be a little, sleeping giant maybe, if they can get it together. But other than that, I mean, you look at Washington. Yeah, their offense improved, but their defense, it got older.
Yes,
it didn't necessarily get better. But so, who's going to challenge them? That's the thing. Who's challenging the Eagles in the NFC?
Yeah, it's a fair point, because I think Dallas is still in a little bit of flux, especially now with the new head coach. The Giants, I think, will be a bit better, but I don't think they're near Philadelphia. And with the Commanders, again, it was good they finally got McLaurin in the fold. The guy's been Mr. Reliable ever since he's been there. I'm just hoping for your case, Ed, that Jaden doesn't have that proverbial sophomore jinx. I think he's over that. I think he's too good and too motivated for that. But, sometimes you got to watch that. And and I'm not sure, and I agree. I don't know if you heard Pat Kerwin talk about this on Moving the Chains the other day. He didn't think they got enough for Brian Robinson. They could have got a little more, sixth-round pick, Yeah. I don't think they got enough for him.
They're taking a chance on this rookie who has a full name, but somehow he's called Bob. So he's got this entire full name, and then we'll call him Bob. Whatever.
He's injury prone too. So
in his college career, it's the bird in the hand, right? They have 800 to 900 yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns in this hand with Robinson, or you get 1,300 yards and an explosive back. So they went for the chance of the explosive back. I don't agree with it, because Robinson was steady. He'll get you 800 yards.
Well, another thing too, though, Ed, is that he was from the prior administration, if you will.
Right.
So as well as I do, unless that player is exceptional, these new coaches and GMs, they're always going to bring their guys in.
Always going to happen. Flying under the radar in the NFC, who is it? I think Tampa is a dark horse.
Yeah.
They went to Detroit last year, beat Detroit. I think they can beat the NFC West, because I don't think Stafford's going to be healthy. I just don't. They have Stetson Bennett, the 13th, back there. But I mean, that's what they have, because you have Jimmy Garoppolo, who's hurt constantly, comes in. He'll look brilliant for 2 games, then he'll hurt his arch or his finger, and then you're left with Stetson Bennett. So I see Tampa as the dark horse. What about you?
Tampa's a good one, because I think now, for the first time in his career, Baker Mayfield is in a place where he feels loved, where he feels he can thrive. And of course, you got, I think, the most criminally underrated player in the game in Mike Evans. All he does is catch 1,000 yards every year, and nobody talks about him.
Right. Plus, they got the wide receiver from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What?
Ibuka. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
he is going to be. He's already a star for goodness sakes, and they're going to get Godwin back at some point.
Right.
Wirf's being out, those a little bit of a concern. Defensively, they're but I think Tampa could make some noise.
Well, when you look at it offensively, I mean, they had good numbers last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but
and it's a bad division too.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, JR. Right.
No, I was going to say, I got another team that I want to hear what you think. Minnesota. I think they're awfully good everywhere. We just got to see what JJ's going to do. But, man, I think they could challenge.
That defense is fantastic. It is.
Oh, yeah, under Brian Flores. And then and you added, you added Hargrove in the offseason. You already added Greenard the year before. And
Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, and Van Ginkel. I mean, they're absolutely loaded, JR. I think you're absolutely right. Can McCarthy be that guy? And that's going to be a question mark. And that's where I think Kevin O'Connell, I thought, and the GM there, Quessy, made a kind of a pretty savvy move. They moved out Howell to Philadelphia. Got some draft capital, and then they went out and signed Carson Wentz. Now, he's kind of bounced around, obviously, since his time in Philadelphia, but as we've seen with Kevin O'Connell, with what he did with Sam Darnold, God forbid if Carson Wentz has got to come in, he's going to be prepared, he's going to know the system. So he is the quarterback whisperer, by the way. So if Philadelphia's got a threat there, it's definitely Minnesota. Though keep your eye on Jefferson and that hamstring. Things, if you aren't careful, those things can linger.
Oh yeah. So they're giving this incredible Ferrari, beautiful car to this kid who wasn't a passer. What do they see that none of us can see? What do they see in him that none of us can see? Because he threw the ball a couple times in preseason, didn't overwhelm anybody.
No.
What are they seeing? I don't understand it.
Well, I know if you listen to Jim Harbaugh's hyperbole, he was the greatest quarterback in Michigan history. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, he'll hype a snake if he had a chance. Well, one thing I will say, I mean, somebody's got to be the leader of a national championship team. Whether they cheated or not's another story with the video and all that nonsense. But he did show leadership abilities. Wasn't overly great in that national championship game, but they must like the intangibles. And again, Kevin O'Connell, they believe he can work with pretty much anybody. So there's got to be something there. I think you're right, Ed. There may be something we don't see, but it's obvious something they see.
All right, I have a question. So under the radar, we were talking on Ed. I know you mentioned NFC under the radar. I got one for you. Maybe I'm off kilter on this one, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there. What about the Cardinals? I mean, I think under Jonathan Gannon last year, they showed some improvement. I was looking at a stat. They improved their point differential by 100 points, increasing their win total by 4 games. When you look at it, I think they bolstered that defense some through free agency, and they drafted some guys. I mean, what do you think?
Kyler Murray, I think that's where it all really starts with him. If he continues to mature like he should, then I think they are going to rate. Let's not forget, they were 6-4 and in first place in the NFC West last year before things went to hell in a handbasket.
Right. Yeah.
I got to see more from Marvin Harrison Jr. in year number 2 in the NFL. Another kid that I think is criminally underrated and they took care of is Trey McBride.
Oh, yeah.
So very, very good tight end. Is Connor still the guy out of the backfield? I mean, the line is, it's okay. Defensively, like you say, they made some nice additions. So Arizona showed last year they could hang in that division. If Murray, again, continues to stay healthy and show that maturity, that leadership, which is kind of lacking the first couple of years, I think Arizona could make a run at it.
It's a winnable division, too.
It sure is.
There's a lot of uncertainty around. Go ahead, John. You're up, buddy.
I wanted to real quick go over to the other side, the AFC, and ask you about I know, Bill, you think I'm nuts, but Jacksonville. I actually really like them this year. I don't know why. I think they can be really. I think they maybe take a run at a playoff spot. I don't know. There's some things there that certainly offensively could be dynamic.
Brian Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, oh, he's wonderful. Yeah. He's absolutely a very good receiver. With the whole thing there is Trevor Lawrence. I mean, are we going to see the kid that, performed well at the end of the 22 season, took them to a playoff win, started 23 well, but then got hurt? And let's not forget, now he's learning another system. That's the one thing everybody talks about. Well, this quarterback's a bust. Well, maybe part of it is maybe the guys around him aren't that good, or maybe, quite frankly, you keep changing, the terminology in the system. That's going to be rough for any quarterback. So I think that's why they went with, we were talking about Baker Mayfield a little bit earlier. Liam Cohen, when he was with the Rams, basically resurrected his career. So that's probably the reason Jaguars management decided to go with him as the head coach to see if they could work with Trevor Lawrence. Again, the offensive line's a little bit makeshift. Travis Etienne, I'd really like to see him stay on the field and be a contributor. I think Josh Hines Allen is still a game breaker on defense, and
Walker on the other side. Yeah,
Walker, sure. Former top overall pick. So.
Yeah, you were talking about Travis Etienne, and I think it's going to be a split backfield, likely with that. I think you're going to see, that Tank Bigsby. I think he's going to be.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah. I think he's going to do the most of the early down work, and I think you're going to see, Etienne coming in for that third down.
Watch out for the rookie they got out of Tech, Michelle Tootin. He runs very fast. Very, very fast.
Yes.
He's going to be one to watch. He also returns kicks, which he did at Tech a couple times. He took him to the house. So, one question before we go overrated, underrated AFC. Can we bet against Kansas City this year?
At your own risk, Ed. That's all I'll say.
Denver didn't get better. Chargers didn't get better. I mean, Denver looks like they're ready to rock and roll.
They are. They're closer.
And the Chargers, had Rashawn Slater not gone down, I think they would have made it a serious.
That's a big one there, man.
It is, because
that's brutal. It just got paid too.
I know. You can't do anything with Becton. You can't kick Becton out because he's so good at guard.
Right.
That left side would have been impenetrable with Rashawn Slater and Mekhi Becton. I mean,
and I think the Raiders are going to be better.
Yeah, they got a quarterback. Does that division beat themselves up? I mean, they play the NFC East on the NFC side, so there's a couple of tough games there.
But as long as number 15's around and he's still motivated, and you got the gang together there. I mean, Hollywood Brown, if he's healthy for a full season, I think that portends well.
Rice is back. Yeah,
real quick. I got a question. So the Packers cut McCole Hardman. You think he maybe lands back in Kansas City again?
Ooh, that's a viable thought, because Kansas City does have a tendency, as we saw just the other day, they traded back to get Nandi from the
Reclamation.
Jets. So, hey, why not?
Project.
He knows the system. He ain't going to be high maintenance. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. So another quick question. On the show, we talk about Buffalo and Baltimore. Like, it has to happen this year for either one of them. One of them because what do? Do you sit down Harbaugh and Lamar, or do you sit down Josh and what do you do? You just say, okay, we're okay with being really good but never beat the Chiefs. What do you do? Like, one of them has to get to the Super Bowl this year. It can't be the Chiefs again, for the love of God. I mean, they have to have some sort of chink in their armor,
Well, again, maybe another year age,
As I say, father time.
Father time. I mean, that's a good point. But there's still the Chiefs. They're still well coached. There's still, when your best player continues to be its most hungry. I mean, Mahomes could retire right now, and he would be easily, and we could start talking GOAT talk. Okay.
Yeah.
But he takes the approach, guys, that like, all right, it's just another year. What have I done lately? Let's just move on with this. And, you got to think the way that season ended. I was at that Super Bowl in Philadelphia. They didn't even blitz, and they just tore them a new a-hole on that offensive line. That's where maybe they're a little bit vulnerable if this Simmons kid doesn't mature like they should, because Mahomes got a good beating last year. They better hope that O-line is better.
It also helps that he only takes $45 million a year.
Only,
yeah. Compared to that.
Well, he does. I think he owns the Royals. I think he's got a part in like women's soccer team.
Soccer, His wife played soccer, and they have a KC. They have a stake in KC. And
he doesn't need the money, But
right, right.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah.
No, I just on that, their defense. I mean, they just got shredded. I mean, they just like the offensive line, they got steamrolled.
Yeah.
And I don't and that's one thing I don't know how they're still. I don't know if it's much better than last year. Like, am I missing? That's the thing with the Chiefs. Like, I don't know how they do it, because the defense doesn't exactly, when I look at it, other than Jones, you know what I mean? I know Karlaftis and that. It doesn't really make you feel.
They don't have that game record. They don't have a Parsons. They don't have somebody of that ilk, of that variety who can really just impact the game. But what they do is play well enough collectively. Spags obviously does a wonderful job with that. And they just play, there's that college term, the collective. Well, that's how Kansas City plays as a collective. I mean, I think if you were to ask me now, is their defense better than their early Super Bowl runs? Yes. Is their offense as proficient as their early runs? I would say no to that. So maybe there's a little bit better balance, but they don't overwhelm you, but they just can't seem to come up with the big plays when they need them.
They just freaking win every time.
Yeah.
I'd hope that they, but I just can't bet against them, I guess. But if you're Baltimore and Buffalo, what do you say? These teams are the best versions I've ever seen. Every one of them this year, the best. They are loaded on both sides of the ball, both teams.
Oh, agreed. And like you say with Baltimore, I mean, at some point, Lamar's got to win or Josh Allen's got to win.
Correct.
And we even talked about it earlier in the show about getting home field for Buffalo. Baltimore had it, and they still couldn't beat Kansas City.
Lamar can't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, Lamar, to me, he just can't do it on the big stage. He just can't.
He hasn't yet, right?
Yeah, he hasn't yet. He just can't do it. I mean, I don't.
Well, last year was the Zay Flowers one at home. It was his fumble, but they just make these bonus plays. It's just it's insane that they're able to do it.
And Andrews drops that pass that would have tied the game.
Right. The 2-point conversion.
I felt so bad for him.
He's still a hell of a tight end, though.
Yeah, he is.
All right, Billy's desperate to know your thoughts and your on his hometown Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though I reside in the city, I don't necessarily care for them. But Billy is desperate to know. What do you think of the Steelers?
Boy, they well, no, because this is almost like so unlike them, where we always think of them developing players, going through the draft and all this, and then now going through. To get the spectacular ad of Aaron Rodgers, who, quite frank, I mean, let's face it, this ain't the Aaron Rodgers of 5 years ago or 7 years ago. I think, if they can keep him on his feet, he did show last year he could still play a little bit in this league. And then obviously you have the, you add the receiver from Seattle, DK Metcalf. Sure, and then obviously you got Freiermuth there. I still think Washington is a badly underutilized asset. I love that kid's size, but
we've been saying it.
Yeah, the tackles are a concern also. This Broderick Jones, I think, might be Billy.
Yeah, that's alarming.
Yeah,
it's alarming.
Well,
and they've got age on defense now too.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the Rodgers, I hate to say this here, Billy, but I think this could be spectacularly good or spectacularly bad.
I said that. I don't think there's going to be a happy medium with this. I think it's either going to be success or it's going to be failure. But, I don't know what the potential impact that he's going to have on this team. I just don't. He's indicated this is going to be more than likely his final season.
Right.
Is he going to be able to do enough to revitalize this offense? And potentially end this playoff drought? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of variables.
Well, let me ask you. You're a Steelers fan. Let me ask you this: as I turn the tables on you guys now, because this is something that, and Ed, you listen to the channel quite a bit, where we'll get people who are like 9, 8, 9, or 9, 10 wins and playoff appearances. Most franchises would die for that, but the Steelers aren't most franchises. This is 6 Super Bowl wins, the legacy as is. We all know how good of a coach Tomlin is, but they haven't won a playoff game in almost a decade.
Right.
Let me ask you, as a loyal fan, do you think maybe he and that message has run its course, that maybe they got to start over?
Well, yes, but I don't think they will. I just don't see that they're not going to do that. I mean,
I agree, but great.
And I mean, so that you're stuck in this purgatory, basically, of not being able to,
you're
win
good,
playoff.
but you're not good enough,
right?
And you don't stink. I'm sorry, you don't stink bad enough either to start stockpiling top 10 picks either.
Right.
It's also an organization that fired a coach who was 4-0 in the Super Bowl. Right, he was 4-0 in Super Bowls. Chuck Noll. They got rid of him, because his message was stale, and that was it. He was gone.
No, he retired.
He retired
because they told him to. Believe me, I have the inside knowledge on it. With my father, I'm really good friends with the Rooney's. They told him he had to retire.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, and they brought in Cowher.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they brought in Cowher for new spirit. They needed it, and Tomlin's the same way. It's just
my biggest hang up with Tomlin has been like.
Plus, they never replaced Bradshaw either. So
right, yeah. I mean, you had Mark Malone come in, and and
Cliff Stout,
what Todd Blackledge,
Bubby Brisker,
John Rustino,
Johnny Rustino, he came in right after Todd Blackledge, I know. But no, my biggest thing with Tomlin, he's coached all these years, and he has no coaching tree.
That's an interesting point. I've never thought about that. Yeah, I
mean, he has no coaching tree. I mean, for somebody who's took over in the 2007 season, after 06 when Cowher hung it up, he has no coaching tree whatsoever. And what's that tell you? I mean, that tells me that he likes to be the smartest guy in the room. And
that's a fair point.
How's that worked out in recent years? Not very good.
Again, good, but not good enough,
Right. So, but my thing I'm very worried, and we do our Pittsburgh show every Wednesday. And Ed, what do I say every week? What's my biggest concern? This has been
going on for probably 22 months. They have no second wideout. They have no second wideout whatsoever. If I'm a defensive team, I just put a safety over the top and DK, and that's it. It's over.
Yeah. But this year, what is my two main things been, Ed?
Oh, good. He's putting me on the spot. I forget. Go ahead.
Well, the offensive line.
Who's going to run
number one?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the secondary.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you got JPJ who led the team last year in penalties, or led the league last year in penalties, in most penalties. I mean,
Slay should be a good ad.
He's 38, whatever. How old is he?
38.
He's 35. But still, I mean, they just got older. I mean,
the defense got older. The defense got older. I mean, I mean, there's just, I'm very much concerned having a 41, soon to be 42-year-old quarterback under center with this line that just, Broderick Jones, he goes back to his natural position, and it's like he forgot how to play over there.
Yeah.
And you have Otanu, who's got a bad knee. Everybody told him he's a one-contract guy.
He's hurt all the I mean, it's just, and I mean, you could say really Zach Frazier as well. He's been hurt. He was hurt at West Virginia a lot. So, I mean, and then you don't have a solid number two. Now, Jonnu Smith, you could make the argument that, you don't have these straight line tight ends anymore, that, some of these tight ends now can be legitimate number twos and number threes. But, I would have went out, when you got rid of Deontay Johnson, you had no plan. You didn't do anything. You didn't go out and get anybody.
Well, he's available again.
Available again. Yeah. I just heard today that, Rodgers is trying to convince Cobb to come and play,
there's a shock. then Lazard, then maybe Devontae Adams.
Adams,
put the whole gang back together.
Yeah, again, But I'm very cautious on what I don't know. I'm not real. I want to have optimism, but I'm very kind of skeptical at this point in what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, they could go 10-8 or 10-7, 9-8, make the playoffs, and he's gone, right? And so it's gotten you nowhere. You're still in the era of mediocrity. The most telling thing about the Steelers and their administration, they since 2017 they've given one fifth-year option, one to TJ Watt, and extended one extra.
That's right.
18, nobody since then. You can't count Minka because he was the Dolphins, right? He wasn't
That's right.
Nobody has gotten a second contract except for TJ Watt. I mean, they come and they go. All these players come in, all these players go out. Their wide receiver choices. It's funny being in the area because they're so excited that players have fallen to them and say the 5th or 6th round. There's a reason, right? Good players don't just fall, right? There's a reason why they do. JPJ fell out of the 1st round because he's too handsy. He holds too much, right?
All the time. He had at Penn State. Yeah,
he was terrible at Penn State with his holding, but. Anyway. All right. We got John. You got another one?
No, I'm good. Well, there's only one thing, and this is the second. The Bengals. I wanted to say this to you, Joe Burrow. It's really a shame that he's being what's happening there because it's Dan Marino all over again, and I don't know. It's kind of disguised. He's got to ask for a trade, right, Zig? I mean, sooner or later, you got to get out of there. I mean, it's not even winnable. I don't think.
Oh, I don't know if he's going to do that, Jerry. I mean, they just took care of his top 2 targets, and now they finally got around to giving Hendrickson some more money. I'm not sure it's as dire as that, although I do see a parallel to the Marino, where obviously at that terror with the Dolphins, they had to win 41-38 every game because their defense couldn't stop anybody. But
they were under 500 last year, scoring 30 points or more.
Right. I still think though there is some younger talent coming along on that Cincinnati side, so you got to hope that they develop quickly and that Al Golden is able to find his footing once again in the pros after coming over from Notre Dame. They needed a change because people always thought that Cincinnati had this. Even when they went to the Super Bowl, guys, their defense was average to good, but they were well coached and everybody played to their role and made big plays. They were never great, but they were good enough. That's where they've got to get back to at least that good to maybe good enough to help Burrow out on defense.
And it was truly the collective when they made that run.
Exactly.
I mean, it truly was. All right. So we're to the point of the show where now we got to get your expert opinion. You got to pick.
Boy.
You got to do your final 4. I know.
What? I had one other thing I wanted to ask real quick. I'm sorry. So I wanted to ask you, Zig, who do you think, what quarterback or quarterbacks do you think are going in are under the most pressure? I'm going to tell you mine first off. I think it's Dak Prescott. I think he's under a lot of pressure this year. I mean, I think that there's, I mean, his playoff record right now is 2-5.
Yeah.
He's not had. There hasn't been much of deep playoff runs, and I just think that
years worth exactly.
Right. Yeah. Who else do you think is under pressure?
If we're talking quarterbacks, I would put Dak there because obviously you got a new head coach. First of all, let's hope that he's actually healthy coming off the injury from last year. And then God forbid if he gets hurt. I mean, do you have confidence to go with, Joe Milton or even Will Greer at this particular point? So, Dallas let Cooper Rush go as a very serviceable backup.
Which I thought was stupid, but.
Yeah, well, hey, I think but they were so tantalized with Milton. That's why they brought him in. I think Jordan Love a little bit in Green Bay.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Because they took a little bit of a step back last year.
Yeah.
And receivers have been a little bit of a mixed bag for him.
Right.
Go ahead.
What did you think about him making the comment that he needs to run more this year? I'm like, you know what, man? He's had some injury issues. I don't know if you really want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe in spots, but not,
Yeah.
you're not going to have him be like Michael Vick back there for goodness
Right.
sake. So,
Right.
but so that would be.
I'm with you on that one, Jordan Love. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So that.
What do you, maybe Tua even? Tua, I think, I mean, I know the health issues, but do you think that, I mean, he got that significant contract.
A hot mess.
Miami looks to me like they could be a train wreck.
Yeah, I know.
At least from the outside, you're hearing things about they got better chemistry, better this, better that, but I don't know if I see it. I hope he does, because I like Tua quite a bit. I think
I do too.
I think he doesn't have the greatest arm strength, but he's smart, he's tough, and he needs to stay on the field.
Yeah.
And they are just a team that they aren't equipped to play. They're a track meet type of team. If you have to play a grinded out game, and then especially we saw in Kansas City, they just literally looked like they were afraid to play. You wonder if that's an indictment on the head coach down there, McDaniel. I just don't see a whole lot from them.
And Billy really likes McDaniel's capri pants.
Oh no.
No, I just don't. I don't think he's. If things go south to start off, Zig, I don't think he makes it. I think he's going to be. I think
he was our pick to be first fired.
He was my pick to be first fired. I mean, I just don't. I think that there's been a lot of I don't know, a lot of underachieving, if you will.
I mean, you wonder about Tyreek Hill. I mean, is he ever going to be happy, or is he going to be a problem child there?
Here's the thing: the man has to work. He has enough children where he has to work.
Yeah, that's true. You ain't lying there, Ed.
His bill monthly is getting up there, so I mean, he's got to pay and make some cash. But I just think, like you, I think they're a hot mess. It's going to implode. It has to almost, because the defense is just wretched.
I mean, you come off an 8-9 season. I mean, it's I mean, if he gets off to a, I don't know, if he's off to a 2-5,
3-6, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. I mean, I just
here's one more for you. Sam Darnold in Seattle. Was Sam Darnold the great Renaissance player through 15 games last year, or largely 15 games, or was he the Sam Darnold we saw with the Jets in the last 2 games?
I think John can answer that, because John, week after week, he just lambasted. He's gonna.
Out of spite, he picked against him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was just waiting for it to happen. It did.
It did happen.
So.
Yeah.
Well, who would have thought that would have happened? I mean, they have that fire. They move the game, right?
Arizona, yeah.
Yeah, and you're thinking, okay, this team's going to be coming into this game disheveled. Man, they kicked their ass up and down the field. I mean, it was just,
wasn't a close game.
Yeah.
All right, Zig, here it comes down to it. We need your final 4, right? Okay. We'll go with the AFC first. Give me your 2 that are going to be in the championship game.
I'm going to really go out on a limb here and say Kansas City. That took a lot of thought, didn't it?
There you go.
Oh gosh. Again, until the dragon is slayed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They are what they are.
Right.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with the Bills, even though, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I thought the run defense, as long as you got number 17, you're going to win the AFC East again. They got the Chiefs at home. I think they got the Bengals at home too. They're probably good for 11 or 12 wins. So pencil me in for Chiefs Bills.
All right, NFC.
Oof.
This one could be a little bit tougher, actually. I'm not sure I see the Eagles getting back. Put me down for Vikings Rams.
Woo!
There you go.
And especially if if Stafford stays healthy. Now, do I have if Stafford retires, can I make another pick?
Absolutely. If it turns out to be Stetson Bennett the 13th.
Yeah. Stetson Bennett the 13th. Oh gosh. Well, go ahead.
Who do you have? Go ahead. Super Bowl. Who you got?
I'm going to go out on a limb here too. Kansas City against Sorry, it is.
It's true. I know.
How about we do a rematch of Super Bowl 4, Ed? Kansas City, Minnesota.
That would be awesome. And you got KC winning it?
They would win it, yes.
Man, that's a disappointment. But I don't know what you do because they have the Bills number. They have the Ravens.
We'll have like Willie Lanier and Alan Page be like honorary captains. Right?
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
Especially his picture running. That would be
exactly
awesome. Unbelievable. Gentlemen, you have anything else for Zig?
No.
It's always a pleasure. It's great to have you. I hope you continue to come on once a year for us or more.
Absolutely.
It'd be awesome. It really would be.
Guys. Always enjoy it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's good. We'll do college on. We're doing a regular show Thursday, 7:00.
Yeah.
Lights up, buttons. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you.
Thanks, Zig.
Hey, Chris.